I've been sewing since literally a child. I would save my allowance, which was 10 cents a week, and go up to the dime store and buy 25 cents worth of fabric. So I started doing that at about 7. At least 2007. There was a baby blessing at church, and they brought the family up and they laid their hands on the baby, and I said, they need a quilt. I just said it because it seemed like they needed something else, something extra. And I didn't know the significance of what I was saying until now. And after I did the first one, then they started to multiply. And people were calling them blankets. And I wanted to tell people these are not blankets. There's a difference between a blanket and a quilt. Blankets you can buy. Quilts are made with love. And so this quilt is a covering. It reminds the parents that this is the day that you brought your baby to be covered by God. I think about what I want to do. I think about the color, and then I start looking for a pattern, and then I cut it up in little bitty pieces, then put it all back together in a design. I like reds and oranges and pinks and light greens and dark greens and fuchsias and bright colors because babies need color. They need to have their senses stimulated. So I speak to them through the fabric in color. And then I put batting in the middle and backing on the back and stitch it all together. And that's, in simplistic terms, a quilt. It takes me about 3 weeks to do one quilt. I can't afford this ministry. It's expensive. And so what I do is a challenge to God to make him do for me what he said he was going to do. So he called me to do this. And you know it's a calling when it's in your soul and you're not happy until you do it. And until I made these quilts, something was eating at me to do it. There are some people say, I still have your quilt. And some people say, I'm not letting the baby have it. And then some people say, they drag it around the house with them everywhere they go. However you do it works for me. I want them to use it if they want to. I just want you to keep it because the primary thing about this quilt is it's a reminder to you that you brought your child to God. That's what this whole thing is about. It's the covering. Do you need to drag your covering with you? Do it. Do you need to put it in a frame so people can see it? Do it. Whatever reminds you that your purpose is to train your child, let that quilt remind you to do that. And all we are required to do is plant the seed. God waters it, and it grows in his time. So that is how I witness. I'm not handing out tracts. I'm not doing Bible studies. I'm telling quilt stories.